This is the Upper Room with Joe Kelley on WVOF 88.5 in Fairfield, Connecticut. And this next gentleman, he has been through a lot through the past year, physically and I'm sure emotionally, and he's getting together for a great event at the famous First Avenue. He's one of the guys who helped make that venue famous out in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. He's got a big show coming up this Sunday, and we welcome drummer and producer, musical icon, Mr. Bobby Z. Rivkin. How you doing, Bobby?
How you doing, Joe? How's it going today?
We're doing great, and I hope your health's great after what we heard and what you've been through the past year. So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. They were able to do some miraculous things. They were able to open 3 clogged arteries. 2 were really pretty clogged up in the beginning, and then had complications just with all kinds of heart rate troubles and all kinds of issues that really just kind of made it very difficult. But, they stabilized me and were able to get me out of the ICU, and I was able to transfer down to the University of Minnesota where they did the 3rd stent routine and got out of there. I was there, actually got out of the hospital 1 year ago yesterday. I got out.
So were there any signs prior to this happening to you? Anything that let you know?
No, that's what the most important message here is that we're trying to get out, is that everybody's heart attack or heart situation is unique, just as unique as each person is. And mine started as a kind of a pain in the neck, if you will. And they thought, well, I was a drummer all those years. And as it turned out, it really centered down the arms and into the elbows, if you can believe that. And then the elbows became inflamed, and you just don't think that that's a heart attack. You just assume that it's just something pinched nerve or something else. And so I went to the doctor and I went to the chiropractor, but that was on Thursday. And by Sunday night, I was on the table and they were ready to cut me open. So. Wow. You have to pay attention to these warning signs that can be very elusive, and get yourself checked out as fast as possible, especially guys. We have a tendency to poo-poo everything, and, I'll be fine. And I was certainly one of those guys. I never imagined all 3 of my major arteries would be clogged, including blocked, including the Widowmaker at 97%, which is, there you go.
Now, getting back on the kit and playing drums and getting your stamina back. Take us the process with that and before this big show coming up on Sunday night.
I guess it was a big deal to me because there was a moment when I got during recovery where I didn't know if I could play the drums again. And that was a scarier thought than I ever imagined. So when it became apparent that I was going to regain some of the full strength, I was just intubated and been kind of crushed from my own body weight, if you will. Been kind of in a medically induced coma for a couple of days and did some shoulder, stuff, and I didn't know. And as I rebuilt strength and I started to play, I got really excited about playing again and decided to do something. And something led to something bigger, and it was like, well, these fans from all over the world were so positive and helped me, and what can I do? And so I said, well, I'll put on a show. And I said, well, what kind of show can I put on? And it's like, well, I'll try to get Princeton Revolution, but, obviously that's a pretty big deal. And so I called the girls, and we got the Revolution together, and we're going to add Dez to it, so it's going to be the true version of the Revolution. It's kind of the early version and the movie version, and we're going to do it up.
So have Wendy and Dez figured out how they're going to divvy up the solos?
I'm sure they're working on that now, but I'm sure it's just certainly a powerful sight on stage, and musically, I can't wait to hear them play together. So I'm not worried about them trading off. I think they'll have a great time playing together.
And Bobby Z. Rivkin is with us here on the Upper Room with Joe Kelley, and we'll get the specifics out there. It's a benefit to celebrate life, and that is this upcoming Sunday night, February 19th, 8 p.m. in Minneapolis, Minnesota at First Avenue. And, it's a benefit for exactly, can you give us the specific info on that?
Yeah, it's I'm working in conjunction with the American Heart Association, which obviously became friendly with, and they asked me to speak at one of their functions as a survivor, and we struck this kind of maybe we should do something a little bit more pointed at a generation and a venue and a situation that may attract more awareness. And so as we did, this is really a good thing to do, and it will. And so in the middle of our show, we're not going to hit them over the head with too much science, but some really entertaining public service announcements that sum up the need to save a life and to look out for the warning signs. So it's a good cause just through and through. And as a matter of fact, Joe, I know for a fact we've already saved some lives with some of the other promotions I've done for the show, and it's pretty overwhelming when you get these emails. And I took my grandmother in, or I took my mom in.
Wow.
After I heard what you said, and it really makes you feel good isn't the word. It's like you're really doing something positive in a direction. So it's all good.
Now, the website, mypurpleheart.org, is where you can get all the information. You can buy tickets, and tickets still available, right? But not too many, right?
There's a few left, but, it's midweek. I think they'll be all gone. But so if you want to go, it's if you're in the area, come on down. Questlove, my friend Questlove is doing the spinning the after party. So
right.
If you can't come to our main show, $10 will get you in to see him, and we're going to go all night there. So it's going to be a quite a special evening for a lot of people that just to celebrate life, as it says on the poster. So
our good friend John Blackwell, who's been playing drums with Prince currently, we've had him on several times, and he has made specific mention how important your drumming with Prince has influenced his own playing. And and I want to ask you about this, because back in the time when you were coming up with Prince and being his first drummer, the mix of a straight up drum kit with the electronic drums, how difficult was that for you, and mixing and matching and being so crucial to Prince's live sound?
Well, I mean, we were pioneering for sure, and there was a real feeling of sometimes as a traditional drummer, there was mixed emotions when you'd see the robot doing your job. I'm sure it's similar to what auto workers felt when they saw robots putting fenders on. You start to, but then as time went on, we just had so many ideas, and Prince had so many great ideas how to interface these into a live element that you were actually able to start hitting these pads and creating these sounds that were coming from the studio, and became quite fun to assemble these kits. And even the one we're putting together now is really a great hybrid and really fantastic. It'll be a real treat for the drum freaks on some of these Prince records. It's fun.
What was the most challenging Prince song that you guys performed live, to get a grasp of as a drummer?
Well, I mean, there's always intricate parts, to get down off the records. There's always, certainly, you're using all four limbs all the time. Some of the technology to pull off something like Darling Nikki in a real big environment was fun, but it was challenging, and we did it in a kind of an over the top way, and it was cool. So I mean, there was definitely moments that you had to figure out, how to decipher some of these technologies. But it was pretty cool that we were kind of the first. You know what I mean? So
right.
It was cool. It was cool.
Now yourself and the Revolution and Prince definitely made First Avenue the place that it is, and definitely put some money in their coffers. Have they dressed up the place, or to still have that?
It's a well-oiled machine. And Nate Krantz over there is the manager, friends with the owner, and
Uh-huh.
they do an incredible job of keeping that place. And first of all, it's got historical value. It's precious to people now, and they've done a great job of keeping it. It's still one of the best concert club venues in the world, I think, and they've done a great job keeping it. And they put a beautiful restaurant connected to it. I mean, it's a great place to hang now. So it's really first rate. Better than ever. Better than ever.
Bobby Z's with us. Before we let you, I know you've been busy doing a lot of things in preparation for the show. Want to ask you a couple questions about some things you've been doing lately. I caught concert clip of yourself and your sons performing. Tell us a little bit about what you guys got going on and that they've gotten into this music
Well,
thing.
there was a guy named Danny Siegel in here who puts together this show called Jubilee on Christmas, and he invites various Hebrews and to come down and play. And so he saw me this year and said, "Do you want to play?" And I said, yeah. And then my wife was with me, and she said, "Yeah, he's going to play with the boys." And I thought, sure, why not? So my three sons play. My son Joyce plays bass. My two boys, Adam and Sam, play guitar. And then my nephew Josh is a seasoned lead singer. He played in a band called the High Five here in Minneapolis, and did quite well. So we brought him in, and we're all Rivkins, and so then subsequently the name of the band is Kin,
Right.
K-I-N, and we're going to do something this summer in Minneapolis and launch that. We kind of had our debut, and now we're going to do a set and do some recording, and it's got a real natural feel. It's kind of a raw, kind of a Zeppelin-y something. I don't know. It's good old rock and roll is what it is. It's a lot of fun.
Bobby Z's website for the event coming up this Sunday night in Minneapolis, First Avenue, mypurpleheart.org. And, you guys, contrary to a lot of places around the country, Minneapolis, St. Paul, they support live music every night of the week. I mean, I remember Greasy Meal was packing them in on Sunday nights back in the day. So
there's just a lot of talent here, and there's a lot of people that believe in live music and support the venues, and a lot of bands that just that keep plugging away and touring and traveling and trying to break out of here, and it's just a great environment for creativity. I mean, when you think about the spectrum that's come out of here, everybody from, of course, Prince to in the same room, you had the Replacements and Husker Du and Soul Asylum, and on one building, First Avenue, and pretty powerful stuff that generated from a city that's relatively mid-market size. So it's pretty amazing.
now, another one of your friends, you were bandmates. He's actually the first guy I ever interviewed when I got into radio, and this was back in '82 or '83. André Cymone. You jammed with him last year, right? I saw you guys were playing live outside.
Yeah, he came back
right?
for a Northside Festival, and he was helping out. There was some real serious tornado damage that ripped through North Minneapolis here. It was no joke. I mean, it was just kind of centered. It's just ironically the poorest neighborhoods got hit the worst. It was pretty tragic. So there was a kind of an awareness up there, and he was headlining. I played a song with him, and he's a good guy too. I just want to say, about John Blackwell. I mean, he's one of the best drummers I've ever seen in the world, and he's a sweet man too. So it's great to hear those words because the feeling's mutual. He's an awesome guy.
Right, it'd be great. All the alumni from the Paisley Park days. I know it's probably impossible, but if it ever, you guys get together in mass and just jam, that would be something. I'm sure people.
Well, we're doing what we're doing kind of that here now.
Yeah.
I just, I'm considering, I mean, it's the movie band is really what we're trying to do here. We're not, we're just giving the people the movie band that near and dear to their hearts with these, Purple Rain's on quite a bit, and I think it creates a culture of the movie, and we just want to give back a little bit of that, so, and do some good at the same time. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing show. This Sunday night, showtime 8 o'clock, a bunch of different events before. I know the European contingent who will travel just about anywhere to see you guys and put their jobs and their money on hold just to come
I
see you.
know there's people coming from all over the world, and it's really overwhelming. And on Friday night there's a screening of Purple Rain with a costume contest, and on Saturday night is the official international pre-party that has all these people from South Korea and New Zealand, and the UK and Belgium and Holland, and just coming to converge on downtown Minneapolis.
Right.
And, we've got a great setup for them, and great hospitality with 7 Ultra Lounge, which is on the same block as First Avenue, so you just can walk down the street, and a lot of hotels in the area. So it should be quite a great feeling.
And yourself and Matt still making home in the Twin Cities,
Matt
which
and
is
I
great.
live here, and Mark lives in San Francisco now. So, and the girls will come from Los Angeles, and Des from Nashville. So we're pulling it together too.
So I know Prince has been supportive, especially giving you support in your recovery from the terrible physical things. And really, if you want to tell me how he responded to your illness.
Well, you find out quickly who your friends are in that case, and he was one of the first calls to my wife Vicky, and for calling a hospital. I mean, he's he's an old friend and a good friend, and it's not about the our careers at that point. I mean, it was just about him caring, and I really appreciated it. And he's certainly, obviously, the biggest benefactor of this whole show for me and the show by just allowing this all to happen, because we're going to save some lives and generate some funds and do some good, and it's still under his flag. And this whole thing is just a piece of Prince. It's all his music, and he was Mozart to our generation, and so we're just lucky to be some of the players who executed these works and perform these songs. So we're going to do that for these great fans and have a great time.
And he was shouting you out during your recovery on tour, so I'm sure you got word of that.
What's that?
He was shouting you out on stage while he was on tour while you were recovering, yeah? Yeah,
it was a big impact. I mean, it certainly caused quite a stir for everybody, and it just shows you the power of what that did. That gave a lot of good positive energy out into the excitement, into life and the world, and people brought that to me in my bed in the hospital, and I felt the positive energy. So it was really pretty great that to have a friend like that do that for you and give you the wings to get out of there.
All right, Bobby. Hey, thanks so much for coming on the show, and really happy you are doing great and sounding great, and just have fun. Say hello to everybody on stage in the Revolution, mypurpleheart.org at First Avenue in Minneapolis this Sunday night. And we're going to let you go, but we want to let our audience know that this interview will be aired in its entirety as a archive podcast at upperroomwithjoekelley.com if you just stepped in and heard a portion of it. Also additional music. And we're going to get into a couple tracks right now. And one of my favorite ones that you did, River Run Dry, solo record, which, of course, the family recorded that. And quickly, with Prince, with that song, it's rare because that was pretty much a Prince project, the family, but your song was utilized in it. How did that come to be?
You feel like, he was always open to songwriters that just, songs that had to be good. And I felt that by making the cut on that, I felt that I really achieved a good song. And it was great to be an author and proud of one of the songs on that great project. It's, we really believed in that family project, and it was a great album. And Claire Fisher of the strings, and it was a beautiful piece of music. So I'm very proud of that. Yes, thank you.
All right, Bobby Z, River Run Dry, and we'll seg right into magic happening back in the early '80s at First Avenue, Computer Blue, Prince and the Revolution, and I'm sure this one may be part of the set Sunday night.
Yeah, it might be. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Bobby.
All right.